Alright, so this video is going to be all about the new dirt bike I bought and getting to know it. I'm going with the sour. Alright, it is November 9th and I'm on my way down to pick up something that I've been dreaming about for 4 years if you've been watching this channel, so let's go. I have a dream, you know, I've had a dream since I bought this bike. I've been doing some research the past couple years. This right here is my dream bike. This Beta 500. So, well, in October 2018, I took this truck down, my two-wheel drive beater Dodge, and I picked up that KLX 250 that was a 307, but it was hammered, smoking. Everything was worked, and you've seen me work on it for 4 years. Now it's pretty much new, from front fender to back fender. Motor, suspension, wheels, plastics, everything except the transmission, which I actually had the transmission fixed because it kept popping out of gear, and my guy Jerry went in there and fixed it. So here it is, exactly 4 years and a month later, and I'm on my way home again with my two-wheel drive Dodge. Got to get the turbo in. And I got something different in the back of this truck. So what do I got in the back of the truck? Well, you've been hearing me talking about it since my second video in 2018 on the KLX, wanting to get a modern enduro. So here's what I got. 2023 Beta 500 RRS.
Yeah. She's smiling.
So after 4 years of playing, experimenting, building my KLX 365, you've seen all the fun I've had with it, all the challenges I've had with it, and it's still a great running bike, and I've been riding it a lot the last few months, and the engine has held up and everything's been really good. And you know, I've always wanted a modern dirt bike. The last new dirt bike I bought was an 03 YZ 450, and I raced that all summer in 04. Got hurt really bad for the last time. Was in a cast for 33 weeks. And then I never went back to race, but I still rode, and I just bought used dirt bikes because at the time that's all I could afford. So the last modern bike I had was an 08 CRF 450, and that thing was a lot of fun. It was the first time, though, in my years where I'm thinking, you know, this is a little more power than I really need. So I went to a 250F, and I had a great time on that thing. So I've been riding a lot. You've seen in all these videos, me and my brother have done some rides. Done some rides with him and his son. Hey, what size shoe do you wear? 12. Done some rides with some friends here. Did my own rides, you know, up to Butler Peak and then out just having fun in the desert here. In all of its beauty. And it just came to the point where I was ready for a new bike. And last February, after doing a lot of years of research, I was stuck with the KTM 500 or the Husky 501. Those two bikes were going to be the one I was going to pull the trigger on, but I started reading about these betas. I've known about all motorcycle manufacturers forever. I've been, you know, following the sport since probably about 1980, very closely, and still watch it to this day, and still attend races. Can't get enough, you know, you're gonna have to face it. So these betas have been around a long time, and it's a small company in Italy, and they're meticulous for quality and stuff like that. So in the last few years, these have come a long way. They're actually putting together a Supercross team for 2024. And I've been reading reviews about the last 5 years of this 500, and they just keep getting better and better and better. And last year's 500, the 22 model, performed outstandingly by magazines and publications that I've been reading for many years, and I respect their opinion. So this year, the 23 is basically last year's RR series race bike with a plate and lights. It is detuned a little bit, so guys are already telling me get the RR map in there, but I'm just gonna ride it. This is my first ride other than in the parking lot when I bought it a few days ago. I rode it around, and I went outside the parking lot and up and down the street, and I was amazed at how light and thin and how nimble it was. So it's a beautiful day outside right now. It is about 60 degrees, tiny, tiny, tiny breeze on my flag over there. And we just had rain and snow the last few days, so the ground is moist and tractable. It's really the perfect day to ride. And it's a little late in the day for me. It's about noon. But I'm just gonna take off for just a couple hours and go on a nice little break-in ride. And I'll take you guys with me. So this video will be all about getting this bike and getting to know it. How you doing? What's up, buddy? I've never had a dirt bike with a magic button before. So they want me to let it warm up to like 175, telling me that what it's doing, if you hear it, it's bouncing all over the place. Right now it's setting up the computer for the EFI as far as altitude, air density, and all that stuff. And then when it's up to 175, you're ready to go. So I guess it's figuring itself out right now. So I'm not gonna, you know, they want you to break it in super easy. The manual calls for 5 hours of riding under 50% of the throttle. So of course I'm not gonna do that. But this ride, it's only got about 10 minutes on it from when I rode it at the dealer. So this ride will be a couple hours, and I'm just gonna baby it. So you're not gonna see me blasting berms, pulling wheelies, going off jumps or anything. I'm just gonna go get this baby broke in and just get a general feel for her. So here we go. Alright, so the tires don't feel like they're inflated properly to me, so let's check them. If you own a dirt bike or an ATV, this thing is worth every penny. Talked about it in the previous video. Yeah, let's see where we're at here. Might want to tighten that as well. Yep. Yeah, we're at 18 pounds. I like to run around 12 and a half, 13. So we'll go 13. What that's from is the guy inflated them down at sea level in Costa Mesa, and I'm up here at 4,000 feet almost, so that's what you're seeing. Interesting to me that both of the tube nuts were loose. There we go. 13, 13. All right. Get this show on the road. Ain't she pretty? My son said last night, Dad, you always fix stuff up. You know, you buy stuff and fix it up. And I said, well, this is the nicest this thing will ever be, because after today, it's going to have some scratches. All right, let's do this again. Whoa, maybe I should put it in neutral. Okay, let's try that again. Alright, open says me. I'm so excited, you guys. Alright, calm down. Calm down. The left mirror is coming, like getting super loose on me, and so I'm just going to throw it in here because it's too far away from my house. But it's the first thing I noticed. This one's tight. Make it even tighter.
This is a public service announcement.
Motorcyclists have always been kind of stereotyped as like crazy people, whatever, dirtbags, you know. My whole life I've dealt with that, you know, as a kid riding and going to races. But this is the problem, you know. See that can of beer? Not even drank all the way. Another can of beer, and that one's freezing cold. It's like half empty. So it's not motorcycle people, it's people. You know, if you like the off-road industry and you don't want to give it a bad name, don't be a dirtbag. Pick up your trash. So I made it to the top of this rocky hill. Let's walk up there. So that's Lake Silverwood way out there. All of Hesperia, the 15 freeway. That's Ridewood way over there. All the way around. Spring Valley Lake, Apple Valley, Victorville, all the way back around. My house is right over there. So I'm trying to block the wind as much as I can. That thing's awesome, man. Let me just say a few things right off the bat. Get out of the wind. It does everything very fast and easy. So getting on it for the first time, I'm nervous because it turns fast, it accelerates fast, it stops fast. You can transfer weight left to right super fast. So I was nervous because my KLX does some weird stuff and I know how to ride it. Everything on the KLX is slower and then it does weird stuff, so you have time to counteract the weird twitchies and stuff like that when you're trying to ride it. This thing doesn't have anything weird about it. It does nothing weird. It just does everything good and fast compared to what I'm used to. So I actually almost looped coming up that hill. I just gave it a little grunt because I didn't want to slow my pace coming up those rocks. And I have to say that in the first half hour of riding, this is the raddest bike I've ever ridden. Now my speeds are slower than I used to be. I used to race and stuff and try to get the most out of bikes. I wasn't a pro or anything, but I was able to do the tracks, jump most everything, and have some fun. But I have to say, so far, this is the raddest bike I've ever ridden. Now, of course, we're talking about a brand new 23 model with modern technology versus that 96 KLX I've been on for 4 years. So yeah, I'm gonna feel a huge gap there. The couple things I'm gonna work on already is I'm gonna drop the clutch lever a tad, I'm going to raise the shifter a tad, and I think that's all I need right now. I'm gonna let the suspension brake in. I set the ride height last night, but it's still super stiff, so I'm gonna let the suspension brake in and then mess with those settings a little after like 5 hours or so. I guess I gotta get used to this thing though. But that's the last thing you want coming down when you're trying to come up a hill. I can get used to this. Hydraulic clutch. Not a lot of feel there. I remember all the pro guys, when they started going to hydraulic, they were saying they were having trouble with the feel, and now some of them even demand a cable clutch, even to this day. The Supercross guys, and I see what they mean. It's super light and instant, where most guys are used to like feathering the clutch to deliver power and stuff. Well, let's see where this goes. So obviously this is some mine that goes way down and they don't want nobody messing with it. So they welded that massive cap on it. This would be a cool place to come camp though, wouldn't it? Okay, I'm okay. And I hung on to that, but I banged something that's very sensitive. Came down that hill, that rut, threw me for a little bit of a loop, and then at the bottom was a massive whoop just before you head up. I tried to ride through that and I got thrown back. I grabbed a handful. So I'm okay, just a lot of pain. You know where, so let's ride this out, man. That hurts too much. Oh my gosh. This is
Best ride ever.
the easiest way to put it really is it does everything faster with less input. It just does everything so good that it's, when I first started going up the trails, I was a little nervous because, all right, well, I'm home and I have to say I'm really, really impressed if I haven't said it enough already. This thing is amazing. I could never ride it to its potential for sure. You know, all these guys on the boards are like, dude, get the race map. And I'm, like I said before, I just don't need that. It is, for me, near perfect. The power, you can putt around, you can lug it, you can pin it, and it comes to life like a monster. It handles really good. If that would have been my KLX where I goosed it like that and got in trouble, I would have dumped that thing. It's just so top heavy. But I just kind of hung on and it worked its way out and I didn't crash. So, you know, I'm a little bit overweight, a little out of shape, and riding this bike, it's like, it's motivating me. I want to get in shape.
You make me want to be a better man.
Anyway, that's ride number one. I went on this loop here from my house all the way up to right above Hesperia. Farted around a few times. Saw there's some stuff I want to explore later when I'm with other people. It's scary riding by yourself. I hate it the older I get. And made it all the way back here. So many fun trails out there. And but with all that said, I can confidently say I'm really happy with my new ride. You know, there was some sections there with some whoops. I tried to blast through the whoops. This thing just eats it up, no problem. Try to get into some turns. It doesn't do anything weird or fall over or stand up like my KLX. Did the hill climbs here. Did these rocks, you know, and it just does everything really, really good. And people aren't lying in the reviews. It's a really good bike. So we'll see how longevity goes. But for now, I can say confidently I'm really, really happy with my new ride.